OnlyFans is crazy. But no, I think we are we rolling?
We rolling, man.
Oh yeah, I don't know if y'all heard some of that shit in the background, but we over here chopping it up there, you feel me? So welcome back everybody again. My name is Jacques Wright.
Adrian Peace.
And this is the Nice Guys Podcast. And we got a special guest.
Hey, what's up, man? What's up,
you know what I'm saying?
Dang.
Special guest in the
Appreciate
building.
y'all having me come through,
You might have seen his face before. If you saw the Will to Win, the live
Premiere,
video,
yes.
you know.
Yeah, that was a beautiful event, man. Shout out to YB Ordinary.
Yeah, man. Shout out to
Indeed.
Hey, for even have us in the building.
Yeah.
And y'all sitting down and chilling with us and actually have these interviews. We really appreciate y'all, man, because we just been trying to build this platform and what we're doing and spreading positivity, but also like shedding light on talent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that. I appreciate y'all inviting me coming through, man. For real.
Oh, absolutely. Like I was telling before the cameras came on and whatnot, you gave me the opportunity to kind of share my talent in different ways that I haven't had a chance to experience or develop the confidence to do so.
No,
So I
man, you
appreciate
always
that,
come
man.
out and shine, man. You know, Leo Nation, baby. Leo
you
Nation.
already- you already-
Not another one.
I'm the only Virgo in the room sometimes. Right.
I like Virgos, though. I like some of my best friends are Virgos, too. But
sure.
you August Virgo. You August Virgo?
Yeah, August, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Y'all hit a little different.
Yeah.
September Virgos, they a little different, though. For real.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, man, tell us about your situation, your story, man, what you got going on, man. Speak on it, bro, because we definitely do a lot, man.
Man, you know, well, you know, people don't know, but I'm originally from Texas. But I moved when I was like 12, 13 to Virginia Beach. So I grew up, graduated from Salem High School. Same school as the Neptunes, Eclipse, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I was in Virginia Beach when it was kind of like a Motown. That's when Missy Elliott was coming out.
Right.
I was actually going to a studio up there, Third Eye Productions. Shout out Joe City, Pete Twist, Nas Raw. So, you know, Nas Raw used to do a lot of production for Busta Rhymes. So that's when I kind of first got into like music and like really doing music. I was really kind of like a baller. I played basketball and stuff like that.
Okay.
But,
Hoop, bro.
yeah, I know you was a little bit like that.
A little bit, bro.
I got
actually hoop, though.
a little bit,
Focus,
man.
I'm like, this nigga know how to hoop.
Yeah,
for
just a
real,
little
for
bit.
real.
Yeah,
You know what
people
I'm
be
saying?
sleeping on me a little bit when I come to school. I used to be nice, man, but you know, I started doing music probably when I was like 17.
Okay.
You know, I wrote a couple raps, you know, little battle raps getting beat by some of my partners.
Okay.
I was like, oh man, I ain't know. My partner was tearing me up, man. But I kind of started taking it serious when I was like 17 or whatever.
Okay.
And you know, from there just kind of just blossomed into a passion that, you know, 20-some years later, man, I'm still doing it, still love what I do, still you know, putting on for the culture, for what I believe the culture to be, and, you know, self-expression and giving people platforms for self-expression. So, you know, I just feel like, you know, that's my calling, you know, for people to help people, you know, self-express.
Man, you've been doing it, man, because you had Lil Zane in that joint. You had homie had that one joint. What's oh man, he was on what was homie's name? The DJ cat.
DJ Luke Nasty.
There we go. I think I missed his name.
Yeah, I had a few people come through Unplugged, man. So you know, that's the platform that I do now is the Dallas Unplugged, where you know, pretty much independent artists come out and get a chance to perform with a live band, original music. You know, the band. Shout out to the band, Musical Alchemist. They just pick it up right there
and
on
they
the spot.
fire,
That's
bro.
They pretty fire.
I be nervous because, like I was saying, like I don't know how the band gonna go. So like I'm hoping that they're gonna carry me, not gonna mess up, and I'm gonna mess. And it's gonna be like, oh my god, this is a catastrophe.
Going crazy.
They are cold.
That's
bro.
the beautiful thing about having a band behind you, because you can mess up and be fine. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be like, hey, start the track over.
And you know, I really feel like that a lot of the times with everything being so digital, you know, man, we live in a culture where, or I live in a time where people are so, what's the word for it? Let's like ignorant and smart at the same time, right? Like they're tech savvy, can go on this, do this, do all this, figure out this, but don't really know what a sound is, or know a country or whatever the case may be. Like maybe hear a sound and, you know, and they don't even know what a xylophone is. They never even know, you know, just like ignorant, like just you know, just really just in a bubble. Because, you know, everything is pretty much on demand. Entertainment and everything is on demand. I mean, even, you know, for our kids now, everything is pretty much on demand. You give your kid your iPad, kid is like, okay, well, go ahead, pull up. I pull up this, pull up that, like, everything. And so people pretty much create their bubble and what they live in and what their, what their knowledge is. And that's why I say a lot of the times, man, like we live in a time where it's just like people are so like smart dumb. Smart dumb. Won't know nothing about. Can't even tell you anything of why the Civil War was fought, or
don't know nothing about it.
Can't tell you nothing or anything, but will know. All the
gossip shit.
All the gossip, all the Kardashian names and all that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's really about the information that's being disseminated and what we allow ourselves to take in, man. And it's been crazy.
It is.
For sure. It's hard to filter all of that.
No, go ahead.
I was saying, like, it's hard to like filter what, because it's like I see stuff I try to stay away from, but it's still making its way into my algorithm. Like, I do not care what Blueface and what's her name did.
Man,
like,
you know what I'm saying? Man. I don't even try to keep it because it's such toxic, energy out there. And then it amazes me that some people actually believe some of these folks that say they got PhDs and all that other stuff. I mean, people was giving, Dr. Umar a hard time for a minute. And sometimes I still kind of watch the brother. I'm like, all right, man, you know what I'm saying? But some
cats, Dr. Umar alone, man.
Hey, the school is coming.
That school has been coming for quite some. I done gave the nigga some. Where that school
I thought it was open.
Is it open now?
I thought it was open.
It's probably open. Hey, shout out to Dr. Umar.
I thought one was open.
I'm gonna look into it, man. I know you bought the damn school. You've been talking about it for like a decade.
I think it's open. I think you got one that's open. It's in Delaware, right?
I think so. Yeah. It's the Marcus Garvey, Frederick Douglass.
Oh, it was open. I think it was.
I think it's open. I think it's open. We're gonna go with that.
Yeah, I think it's
open. We're not gonna fact check nothing.
Yeah, we're gonna go with the because I got my computer out.
I got my phone. I ain't gonna fact check on it. It's open. It's open.
Yeah.
But you see these type of things and you see these type of situations pop up and you're like, okay, damn, like this stuff is just really coming at us. And the dummiest thing that I see with social media is you have a conversation about some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse my language, and then that shit started coming up in your like, how the fuck? But then it's like the hyper marketing thing going on. They are listening and paying attention to every damn thing that we do.
Well, bro, I mean, I was like, it's the TV. It's like the AI thing is already like, really they've been talking about AI now, but really AI has been around for a long time.
Yeah,
it's just been really small bits and pieces of different things, and they just say it's a feature, but it's really AI.
Mm-hmm.
For example, the other day I'm watching the thing, and I'm like, damn, I couldn't hear what they said. Let me rewind it. So I rewinded it. And when I rewinded it, the captions popped up.
Huh.
And it said, I was like, dang, did I turn the captions on? I didn't turn the captions on.
They were just like,
turn the cell phone.
We know you missed that, big dog. We got you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And that's, to me, I looked at it, I was like, damn, I thought, I wouldn't call myself a conspiracy theorist, but I would just say I think outside the box. I don't limit myself to thinking just one conventional thing, because sometimes, I mean, even with the conspiracy theorists, it's misinformation. They put it out there so a person could gravitate towards it or whatever the case may be. So you really got to do your research. But in all actuality, I was like, damn, hey, listen to me. They heard what I said. I just turned it up, but then I thought, I was like, it's a feature that's in the computer that does that's in the TV that probably does that.
Right.
Now, to say that feature that's the only thing that they put in it, and they couldn't put other features in there that we don't know about, you would, you would be asinine to think that's not the case. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, man, this man, ooh boy, man, we in that time too, bro, where it's like it's ramping up.
Oh yeah,
like with these goggles and the brain chips and being able, like it's like, bro, I wouldn't like. It's really ramping up, bro. Seriously.
Because like I was writing a song with a young lady, man, and shout out to her, and she might know Moni sings, but she's really cool, man, real good people. And the ChatGPT was in the motion. I was like, you can use that to do what? Like I was sitting like, is that writing the song right there? Like, I'm like, oh hell no! Like
it's crazy.
And I felt the same way because I thought about when I was in college. I'm like, damn, if I could have had the ChatGPT writing these 15-page term papers, I would have been like, click, put a sentence on how that joint, throw some annotations in that joint. I would have had a 15-page paper with no issue. So I think it is sometimes kind of interesting to see how like technology is kind of like dumbing down the process and like making it more convenient.
It's dumbing down people, period. Bro.
Right.
I'm trying to give
think about it, bro.
I'm trying to give
it, bro. It's some people like, but when you say dumb it down, is it dumbing down or is it just advancing?
Yeah, is it just evolution or
it could be that like, but at the same time, it's like, and it's about theories and philosophies too, right? Because I'll give you, for example, like right now, they don't even teach cursive in
that's crazy.
School, right?
I know, right? That's
but, what's one of the main things that we use cursive with?
Signature.
It's checks.
Checks, right. Yeah.
Checks.
Money.
Right. So
now, when's the last time you wrote a check? Have you ever wrote a check?
I've written a check, but
it's a long time ago.
I mean, where it's like your check, where you put your name on it. This is the amount that I'm going to pay to you or individual or something.
Been at least a decade.
Been over that for me. Yeah.
So, so when you really think about it, but why would people need to write checks? Who are the only people that's really writing checks?
I mean, rich older folks and businesses.
Older people and businesses.
Right.
Business owners.
Right.
Entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, when you really look at it, bro, it's just, I really look like everything is so intentional to create a gap between
generations,
the have and the have-nots. I think everything right now is super intentional to create a gap. So you have to be super intentional going forward in the future to be a part of the haves versus the have-nots. Or you just want to, like, because this is stuff that, like, they're not even teaching you in school. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think it's because of that I kind of have like some cognitive dissonance of like, I don't know where I fall. And to one, excuse me, to one extent, it's like, this is kind of the equalizer. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we have access to this technology that's kind of democratizing so much and giving us access to so many different things that people wouldn't normally have access to, like, or people with money would only have access to, like. So it's cool that we now have access to it.
But at what expense?
Exactly. It's like, but I don't know. These because they still teaching you how to write. You're not using ChatGPT to write that Harvard paper. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Write that paper in them Ivy League schools and stuff like that. But they might let it slide in one of these, you know what I'm saying?
Like regular institute or standard universities and whatnot, because there's a difference. I think that there have been a certain expectation from a collegiate level for you to be able to actually articulate yourself and like read into certain things and really articulate what you're trying to say versus a computer saying it for you. Because it won't sound, I think, organic if it comes from an inorganic space. You know what I'm saying?
Well, so I think that, I guess sometimes, you can tell when ChatGPT is being used.
No,
I can't tell.
To an extent,
I don't know.
You can't for sure.
To an extent, yeah. I mean, if you don't change nothing, if you've used it enough, you can pretty much, you can kind of tell.
If you use it enough, you can tell.
So I don't use it as often as everybody
else. When it first came out, I was using it a little bit.
Yeah.
But I have not been able to get back on, because I've really been wanting to use the art portion of it, but I haven't really tapped into an app or a website that I can use it for the art portion of it. Like
AI art and all that stuff like that.
Yeah, I've been wanting to do the AI art, for my own personal reason. But I just think that now, man, it's like we just in a space where it's just really weird, bro. Like, it's super weird.
It's different, man.
It's like, I don't know. It's literally like on some Matrix stuff.
Right.
I mean, I think it's a slow progress. I have this theory that we've, had technological advances before and then we destroyed ourselves. But I mean, that's just my thoughts. I know that's a little outlandish, but I've always thought about that.
I don't think, for a person that, like, to somebody that's, I guess, normal, that really don't do research, that doesn't look to be like some type of historian. Like, I like history. I won't call myself a historian, but I like history. History is like stories and drama and, nothing is new underneath the sun. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Correct.
So I love history. So, I've been looking at stuff, trying to go as far back as I possibly can. So, there's a possibility that is the case. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, this government stuff all the time. And like, I always bring up him as an inventor, but Nikola Tesla, when he actually got rid of, that's what I say, because the government wanted to get rid of him, especially Thomas Edison, they took all his material and all his studies. See, we don't know what he came up with as inventions. But then you see this technological advanced age that we're living in, that it just became robust in such almost like a 100-year span. We've been on this earth for like 2,000 years. So what the hell were they tapping into and figuring out from this dude's studies? Because he did a lot of information, like came up with a lot of information on how to create free energy sources and all types. He was studying the pyramids so heavily, though. Yeah. Like, he was completely infatuated with the whole Egyptian pyramids and how they were creating conduits and all. just all types of stuff that was coming in from, those studies. So, I mean, I think
people like, bro, you could ask people right now where Egypt is and they couldn't even tell you where it is.
That's don't even know it's in Africa. Or they don't want to acknowledge where it is.
I mean, some people don't even know where. Literally, you can ask people like, "Where's Egypt?" and they won't even tell you. They're like, "The Middle East."
It's right next to the Mesopotamian Crescent, man. You know what the Mesopotamian Crescent is? But I mean, some people probably don't know what that's at either. So
exactly.
No, people don't.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's what I'm saying, bro. When you really
that is wild, man.
Like because like over here in America, bro, like the media and what we, I mean, it's literally like, all right, just think about it. Think about fast food.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we put into our bodies. That's what they want us to put into our bodies.
And it's more poison.
Imagine what they want us to put into our mind.
True.
Yeah. We don't even know what chemicals are in the actual food itself.
I mean, I know. So think about that. And so when you think about that, you look at fast food, you think about all of that shit. And then you think about, so you know that's deliberate.
If this is what we setting as the standard for what we putting into our bodies,
Yeah, what are they trying to put into your mind?
They want to create zombies and...
Man, it's close to it right now, bro. It's so bad, bro.
Fetal slave. That's for real. We are in a fetal slave. So I don't know if anybody wants to acknowledge it. It's not chattel slavery. It's fetal slavery.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a monarch, president, king that dominates and everybody else. They're able to actually work in order to survive and live within the system, but it's still a form of servitude that they have to still be able to abide by in order to survive within the system. So it's still slavery. It's just a different form.
Yeah,
I mean, more comfortable form.
I mean, basically. But they're going to set it up like it's a perfect storm set up, bro. Like, it's a perfect storm set up.
It's not a democracy. It's a democratic republic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's all types of
that's how they get you.
It's slick. And honestly, I try to find ways to try to avoid being caught up in the flow or the hitting on the rhythm. That's when I caught, because I read this book or whatever. I always Napoleon Hill, shout out to you. I know you probably passed. But Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill is like a dope book that they thought was never ever going to be put into syndication. People don't even know it. They know about Think and Grow Rich. But Outwitting the Devil is like really just talking about the concept of the ill of the mind. You know what I'm saying? And having that conversation with the most darkest parts of what it is in terms of being within the human nature. So and then understanding what it is in order to get past that, and like going through processes of failure and just all types of different things to become the better version of yourself.
Yeah, I think a lot of times that we have a hard time believing that the worst could possibly happen.
But think about how people react on Black Friday and imagine the worst actually happening, because they know how human nature is. There's psychologists out there that are like studying everything that we do in order to keep us sedated, because they understand that human beings can become erratic, irrational, and just start destroying shit. And start looting and stealing. I mean, think about when George Floyd had gotten hurt.
Yeah.
Not saying it's just our community, but just think of the reaction of what people do and how they riot, how they take things up. It was necessary, but
yeah, I mean, this is the thing about George Floyd, because like with the George Floyd thing, it's a setup. It was a play out of a book. Like, I mean, do y'all remember that time period?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so put it like this. I was working in corporate America during that time.
And I felt awkward when I saw the video the next day. I'm like, how are we going to talk about this dude being, his neck got set on for 9 minutes straight? I'm like, what's going to be addressed this next day? Because that was horrific.
I was working in corporate America.
Me too, yeah. Still in, but... Yeah.
So, like, we actually had like a company meeting.
What?
About racism.
Right, that's beautiful. My company didn't even acknowledge it.
Dang.
Yeah, just kept on coming.
My thing was, it was like, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I felt like we was in a Twilight Zone. I felt like it was a science experiment.
That's what it felt like.
It was a science experiment because it was like all the outrage over Black injustice comes just from you seeing this, don't get me wrong, it was hard to watch.
Right,
like,
sure. Right.
But I just feel like that it's not, like, the truth is stranger than fiction. Like, that's because, like, where's that at right like, all that outrage and all that, like, where is it at?
It kind of just, like, dwindle down and just kind of, like, dissipate.
I mean, where is it at?
I think I personally have a theory about it, and that was something I heard a lot. Was it like, because I was unemployed at the time that it happened. We got furloughed when COVID first hit or whatever. So I'm sitting at the house seeing it all. But one of the things that I saw a lot online was like, you know, a lot of companies doing that, like calling everybody in, like, let's talk about this. But I'm
glad y'all got. I didn't even talk about this. I didn't even get that, B. I didn't even.
We just heard about this thing called racism you guys are going through, and we want to make sure that we're not doing any of these things to you guys.
Yeah.
You know,
I didn't even get that though. Like that's why I didn't.
But
even
I feel like, so if you think about it, it's like I feel like, where do I even start? So let me start here.
Go ahead.
I was deeply affected by it to the point that I was like, probably the most enraged that I've ever been. Started going to my first protests and stuff like that. Walked 1,000 miles and all of that stuff. I felt like I did it all during that time. I'm calling politicians. I'm showing up. I'm cussing people out.
Oh, so it touched you for real.
Definitely. Like, yeah, and then not too long afterwards, once everything started to die down, right? I had a kind of reckoning with myself and kind of a revelation of like, damn, who did I do this for? You know what I'm saying? And I was just like tired, just like burnt out. And that burnout lasted, I feel like, a couple years. And I feel like that's kind of what happened to a lot of people probably. So I feel like it's kind of intentional for these type of things to happen periodically to burn people out. So that when the I don't want to say real injustice, because obviously George Floyd was a real injustice, but you know, the larger injustices that are happening, so that people don't revolt against those. You know what I'm saying? So like, not to say that it was a distraction, but it kind of was like a distraction from.
I didn't even think about.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow. I mean, just think about it. During that time, it was COVID.
Yeah,
they were just letting people protest. It was nothing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just, the whole thing just seems like. First of all, 2020 was a whole science experiment. The whole 2020,
the wildest year I've ever seen. That was the wildest.
We gotta write whole books on that,
bro. That was a whole science experiment, bro. The whole year, and honestly, bro,
2020, man,
that shit really fucked with the kids, bro.
Yeah,
it really did
massively.
Like it really, like that whole period of time of having to like just. Everybody was on lockdown.
Right.
Man.
That's crazy, bro. And the thing is that we lived in Texas. Yeah. So, you know, we was honestly, bro, we was outside the whole time. Yeah. I was outside. I started DTXU during COVID.
But yeah, a lot of
like, you know, yes, at the end of COVID in 2020.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so I was outside. I traveled the whole like, you know, because actually I got laid off 6 months into COVID.
It was cheap to travel too.
Yeah.
And then
I
was outside. I was traveling. I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, do what I gotta do or whatever.
Yeah.
And I ain't wearing no mask, bro. No. I was not wearing no mask, bro. I was outside. I was in San Diego. I was in California, Chicago, all over the place, bro. And shout out to Shop. Man, had some of the best food, bro.
Man,
some of the best food out there.
That's
bro.
how you get fat.
No cap, bro.
I lost a lot of weight. That's funny. I know it sounds funny. I lost a lot more weight when I moved back here than I did when I lived there.
I know all got some of the best food, bro.
I always hear that.
No cap. No cap. But I just feel like when I look back at that whole year, it was just a super, super duper science experiment.
For sure.
I don't know. I can't even explain it. Like, you know what I'm saying? As far as like what they were doing, and you know, everybody's saying, get ready this year. You know, this year's about that time. You know, they got to mail in them votes.
Hey, that was
you know what I'm saying?
Time, man.
And I think it's like a Murphy's Law type of thing. It's like in my mind, I don't think there's some like organization sitting back planning all of these things, but it's like anything that will happen anything that can happen will happen. They know that these things are going to happen because they've happened before, and history always repeats itself. So they're ready, so that when that does happen, it's all right. Let's push this. Let's push this to the forefront. You know what I'm saying?
You see how people react to whatever. Because I mean, you see movies that talk about all the time. Like my favorite movie, one of my favorite revolution movies is V for Vendetta. And you see they have these different...
No, that's a fire. That
was a fire movie. Shout out to them, the people that created The Matrix created that movie as well, too. It didn't become as big as The Matrix, but it should have been. It should have been a lot more, I think, accredited than it really was. Mm-hmm. But even in that movie, it talked about different things that would happen, like these social experiments, diseases, and all that other stuff that would be put out into the, into the world to figure out exactly how people were going to react and how people were evolved in a sense as well. And I don't know, man. I feel like with 2020, it hit me a little bit different. Actually, I had more of an awakening during 2020 than any other time period in my life. Like, I actually was challenged to actually deal with situations versus just avoiding them.
Oh, it made you look in the mirror.
Oh, it made me.
Oh, yeah. It was like, hey, pull up a chair. It made you pull up a chair and say, hey, I put the mirror right in front of you. And like, look, I need you to just look at this for a few minutes.
For real. I'm talking about, got out of a toxic relationship, which I was like, Lord, how the fuck was I still in this situation? Yeah. I mean, it tripped me out to see myself. And somebody asked me, like, do you really love yourself? And in that moment, I had to really understand what that really meant and how that felt, because I never talked about that growing, like self-love and all that. I ain't never, Chicago, we ain't got time for that. We got to.
People don't even know what that is. Yeah. People ain't never even, honestly, people ain't never even experienced love. Some people have never even experienced. Sometimes people come from their parents that never experienced love. So if their parents never experienced love, like how are they supposed to?
My mom didn't have parents like this. She was, watered the state. So, my grandfather was, they speak on a lot of my family, but he was supposed to have been, the whole Superfly concept. Yeah. He was close with Curtis Mayfield and all that stuff like that as well. He became a pimp, died in New York. Anyway, crazy stuff happened in my family. And my mom didn't really have it. Mm-hmm. So like growing up, I kind of felt more robotic. There wasn't a lot of love in the house. So even my sister, even though we never talked about it, as we got older, we talked about it more. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But at that time, I was like, damn, I never really dealt with myself. I always just found ways to distract myself, to keep myself busy and worked versus having to really work on myself. And 2020 forced me to stay in the crib.
Right.
To stop avoiding that toxic relationship and realize we do hate each other. We don't like each other. Nigga, we up in there about to be up in there boxing in this one. I'm like, okay, you need to leave. I need to do what I need to do here. You can do whatever you want to go do. You know what I'm saying? That type of came. That revelation came, and you know what I'm saying. It wasn't intentional, but I feel like for me, my experience was just a bunch of revelation.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah. I mean, 2020 opened up a lot of eyes for me. I feel like that it was definitely an awakening for me as far as kind of like set me on my purpose and for what I'm trying to do, and just looked at a lot of things different, like, you know what I'm saying, as far as like people and situations and business and and like I said, all that stuff, racism, all that stuff happened. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to the racism part though, man, it came a time in my life, maybe when the first time that Black Lives Matter started happening.
The Black Lives Matter, you mother.
Okay, so before, because I really, it's a whole, like, now it's used for negative. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's used to keep people divisive. Mm-hmm. But when it first started, first time, like, when it, like, immediately, like, not right even... First.
Right, very beginning.
Like, Philando Castile, basically. Oh, right. When that...
Man, he just read my mind. That's creepy, but I was just thinking about him the whole time.
Yeah, that's when it first... That's, like, literally the first.
Okay, yeah.
Then maybe, like, a couple of days later, it just got infiltrated, and, that's when they had that protest down here in Dallas and that mass shooting and all that stuff.
Right.
But even if you look at that, like, that is... You can't even make that up, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you can't even make that in the science. Like, look at that. Mm-hmm. Dude gets killed.
On screen in front of his kid.
Unarmed.
His daughter.
They have a protest in Dallas. Right. Mass shooter comes out, kills cops. Mm-hmm. Automatically sets the division lines and makes people choose. You don't even have time to have remorse for what just happened to for these people. Like,
exactly.
Like,
he was doing the right thing because he had to conceal the carry.
Yeah, and crazy.
No, he did the procedure.
No, that one messed me up. Like, back then, I was actually, like I said, I was working in corporate America, and I literally was coming to work every day in black, like all black. Yeah. Every day.
I feel you.
I was coming to work every day all black. I mean, I wouldn't say nothing.
Yeah.
But you speak when I was speaking.
I was just in black. Yeah. Black tie, black jacket, black blazer, black slacks, black sweater, black. Just all black. Black everything. Black. Yeah. And that, I guess it was my silent protest or whatever the case may be. Man. But, when I look back at it, I said, man, in order for me to not take away quality of my life. I had to just make everything not about me being Black. Mm-hmm. I just had to just remove that. I just had to just be like, yeah, this person may look at me crazy. Yeah, this person may talk to me crazy. I can't even think it's because I'm Black. I have to think it's because that's the type of piece of POS person that person is.
I feel you.
Like, instead of reverting it back to it being about me, it's really about them, which in all actuality, it really is.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really is about how they was raised, what they were taught. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? So once I started doing that, it made me feel a lot better about living in my skin, because I didn't make everything about being
Black.
Black.
Yeah.
Or me experiencing the disadvantages of being Black. Cause like, man, look here, bro. Like I remember, when I was actually trying to get a crib, like, out here in this area, and like, it was hard, bro. Like, as far as like, I would pay more, and I was just trying to rent. I would pay more for the deposit, more up front, and it was just still like, nah, crazy, bro. During that little period of time, because it was a period of time where, actually, I think it was during COVID or right before COVID, where they were like, it was just like the housing market down here was just going crazy. You couldn't even go see the place. You had to just look at the pictures and like you had to bid on it.
Because you can't go into the mask and the COVID.
Like, it's probably like that now. I'm pretty sure it's like that now. You're looking for houses, or you're trying to. It's like if it comes up, pops up, you just got to go with it. You can't even like look at no pictures or go see it or anything. Like that's what I had to experience, and I really felt like it was so hard for me to find different places, and it was only because, that's what I think.
Yeah, and sometimes when I think about that, I try not to think that way. But then I had a conversation with a client actually yesterday, and she was like, "Well, I can't get these benefits because of the color of my skin." I'm like, "Oh," and I got to say, but I had to take that moment and think about not taking it personally, because and I'm hoping that people that were listening to that conversation, hopefully the job heard it, just understood that I was, being above that situation. Because I could have been rude or hung up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying, or whatever the situation was. But just hearing that you still hear some of that old age.
Oh yeah, it's out there.
Race. And that's the generation I deal with.
No, honestly though, boy, it's
and it's wild. Man.
Like what happens is that it's thick right now, bro. It's kind of thick right now. People don't think it is, but it's actually kind of thick right now. But what's happening is that it's a different type. It's something different is happening right now. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Because I really, I like when it comes to all of this, man, I really don't have the answers. But like, I feel like the more that we just talk about it and the more that we harp on it, the more we make it a problem. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I understand that. Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I feel like, what if we have a generation where we just don't even talk about it? Mm-hmm. They don't even know about it.
But that's like the problem with that is that with human nature, we're always going to find differentiations between each other, because
there ain't nothing wrong with that. It's about appreciating that.
It is appreciation, but you'll see even in Africa, you saw the war between the Ghanaians and the Niger. They don't you know what I'm saying? But they're in the same space. So people always find this from a cultural standpoint. I don't like how you smell. I don't like how your lips look. Yeah. So we'll always find a problem, but it's just it would be nice. It would be nice.
That would be nice.
That would be nice to see us actually be in a position where we don't focus on the most pettiest things. Because to look at somebody's phenotype and then try to classify them a certain way because you don't know what's in between those 7 inches. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like to some extent, it kind of going back to what you were saying, it's it kind of feel like we fighting the wrong enemy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like we make racism itself the enemy. Not realizing or not acknowledging that it's a component of the human condition. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And realizing that we have to acknowledge that it is also in the human condition to, like you said, to draw those comparisons or to make those differentiations, those distinctions, and then it comes down to the powers that be, maintaining that power and keeping us where we are. You know what I'm saying?
Man, it's about the power, bro. It's all about making sure that have and have-nots are not close to each other. Your boss does not want to pay you enough so you can live in the same neighborhood as him.
Right.
Yeah. He does not want to do that. No boss will want to do that. Mm-hmm. I can't
How
see
am I going to be a boss if I'm like on the same level as you? That's how they say it. So, I mean, that's just the ideology behind it. So I definitely agree with what you're saying as well, too. These companies are not, a job is just over broke, are not trying to pay you enough to be rich. That's just not how that works. You just call feudal slave system for a reason. You work enough in order to keep your rations going in place so you can actually have a liable place within society and sustain maybe a decent livelihood. But it is starting to become a lot more, like the middle class is starting to like kind of dissipate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm noticing going more towards
rich and poor. Right, it's just rich and poor.
It's like,
a lot of times, like, you got it or your ass is broke all the time.
It's basically like people need to be roommates.
Man, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I like my own space, but this rent getting kind of exponential. I'm like, y'all niggas just trying to get me to have to get a roommate. For real. I'm already too loud, like to walk around butt naked. I don't know if I can have, a roommate all the time, man. No shit.
But that's what it's more. I'm telling you, bro, everything is intentional. Mm-hmm. Everything is intentional. And it's like, we just lucky to be, we actually kind of, I don't know what has happened over the course of the last 4 years, but basically some stuff has happened down here. But prior to that, we were like Texas, man, we were in a really good space, bro. Even now, we still in a good space. Okay. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. But before, man, untouchable, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, we got our own commerce, our own power grid, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, we really in our own space, really. Like, being here was really a godsend and a blessing during COVID and all that other stuff. But even just being here in general is like, is tight work. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But now, recently, man, they just been breaking up the price of living and they've been food.
Since that damn snowstorm.
Rent went about
$400. Crazy, bro. Baby. It's going crazy right now, honestly, bro.
Yeah. And it's like, you obviously don't want me to be living here no more. You know what I'm saying?
Bro. Nah, it's a lot of money hungriness going on right now. A lot of, because there's so many like opportunities and stuff like that would have been like, and so everybody's moving here.
That's why I moved. I'm not even gonna lie. That's why I moved here so I can have, because it's expensive as hell to live in Chicago, man. Shout out to my city. I love, Chicago City. You know what I'm saying? All day Chi-town, whatever.
It used to be tight work down here, bro.
But man, it's getting just
whatever you was paying for an apartment, you get a house down here.
Man,
straight up.
Even in the hood, like
now it ain't like that. Yeah, like now it's going like before. It used to be higher to rent than to pay mortgage. Yeah. But what's happening now is that it's starting to become higher to pay mortgage than to rent.
I'm seeing that. Because the houses, you could buy a house for $250 back when I first moved here. Now it's just like $500,000, $400,000. Exactly. I'm like, God damn, this shit didn't double.
Yeah, but what happens is that these management companies come and just buy the house outright, and then they rent it. And then, but it's a long-term investment.
Yeah, my mom was talking about
basically, it's a long-term investment. If they rent it,
ain't no regulation.
If they rent it, then boom, they can pull money off of it, resell it. I mean, it's a super monopoly game how they got it going.
Especially from California. Them houses out there $1 million, so they can come buy 2 houses.
No, they raising the rent. Like out here in Frisco?
Yeah,
crazy, bro.
Frisco's out of there, bro.
It's out of there, bro. I live in Frisco, nigga. Like, my shit went up about $400. Like, God damn.
They going crazy.
Where you going with it? Can you tell me where you're going?
Frisco is about to, I really believe, is about to be the mecca of all of Texas. Like, it's
Dallas,
about to be. Yeah, like they just changed the DFW to DFFW. Like,
for real.
DFFW
to include Frisco. Yeah.
Dallas, Fort Worth.
Dallas, Frisco, Fort Worth. Yeah.
Dallas, Frisco, Fort Worth.
Yeah.
Wow. Are you serious?
Yeah.
I think so.
Like
DFFW.
It's getting Frisco is where it's at as far as the money.
It's building up so damn fast too.
Wow.
Like, there used to be nothing in Frisco too.
Dallas, Frisco, Fort Worth. Whoa. Wow.
Yeah.
And I live in the heart of it. I live in the heart of it too, man. I live right next to the FC Dallas Stadium and all that. So like, I'm like in the heart of the expense going on. Yeah. I'm seeing it firsthand. Exactly. I'm like, God.
Well, they bringing that
Universal Studios.
Universal Studios out here, yeah.
They keep asking me, are you gonna rent again next year? I'm like, I think so. I don't know. Shit, I'm trying to figure this out, man.
Yeah, let me see.
How much you going up? They're not gonna tell me how much you going up. They gonna ask me, you gonna come back again? I'm like,
that's crazy.
You going up another $120? What's going on? Like,
that's crazy though. For
this
real.
little studio, what's up, man? Like, y'all tripping.
Man, is it like especially with all of this is going on, like, does it change how you think about creating?
Yeah. Honestly, I've been really trying to make different type of vibrations when it comes to music. I feel like that music is an emotion and people experience different emotions. So there's nothing wrong with having different emotions for, different types of music, basically.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of times, that's what people put music on for, is to
feel something
to go deeper into whatever emotion that they're feeling.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So recently I've been working like, talking about COVID and all that stuff. But, basically that year I released like maybe 14 projects. I did an album every month.
Wow.
Well, you in the crib concentrated, so yeah, I mean.
Boom. I was doing joint projects. Either I produced it, either I produced a full album or it was my joint collab. I did 14 projects I released in that year, and 3 of them were EPs, which were 5 songs, but, mini albums. But then the rest were albums. So, and actually maybe one more in there because I actually produced one more. So maybe 15. So, but basically I was just producing artists, doing joint collabs. Either I produced it or it was our joint collab. And from there, I just kind of I just got a monster catalog. I probably got like 40 albums online, maybe like when it comes to like either instrumental CDs or collab projects or my own solo projects or whatever. Then yeah, probably about 40 projects online.
Sheesh.
Damn. Yeah,
it's going crazy. I was like, damn, I didn't realize, probably got like 500 songs online. But that's just a testament of the work that I was putting in during that time. And the thing about creating music, and a lot of times people be like, well, what did that take you? How far did you get from doing all of that? And what I like to think about, especially the time that we're in now, is like basically whenever you create something and you put something out, that is an asset.
Yeah.
That actually has the potential to appreciate with value as time goes on. Basically, when you get a car, you buy a car, that instantly becomes a liability. Because it depreciates as soon as you drive it off of the lot. So it's nothing wrong with creating a song and putting it out. Because even if you don't promote it the correct way, you can come back, rerun the promotion. We got so many tools now.
Man.
True.
Like, there's so many songs that's older songs that go viral.
Yeah. Right. Shout out to UK, man. Because UK rocking with my older... I sent you the project too. I sent you the Ja Corbett project.
Right.
That is the only country listening to my... It's at the time, I was like, who the hell is listening to me
crazy.
in UK? They are loving me. I'm like, okay, only 5 songs. But I was just like...
How long ago was that?
Back in October. But it's like the highest I've ever seen the spot. I'm like, I'm getting a lot of
shows out there.
I need to go to UK. I'm like, hey, Shaka, if you see me, hey, man. Dirt, we need to bring the band. I said, I was like, I need to go trap.
All that good stuff.
Cheers.
Cheerio, put my pinky up. Cheerio.
You know what I'm saying?
To me over there with the crumpets.
The crumpets.
You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying, man. Like, that's the whole, like, that's why I say when I talk to artists, like, these days, because I got a studio downtown, Chambers Plug, Derby Studios, downtown, Deep Ellum.
Yeah.
I work with a lot of different artists. A lot of times I talk to artists and usually they just want to put out singles and they don't really focus on projects. Yeah. And, I say, hey, you can put out your singles, still do your singles, but you should always focus on a project.
Yeah.
You should always be focusing on what's your next project, what's your next movie, what's your next musical cinema that you're going to provide to your listeners and your fans, even if you only have 3 fans.
Yeah, I like that.
Even if you only have 3 fans, what's the next 3 things? What is the next things that you're going to give those 3 fans? You should always be looking forward to that because even when creating an album, your mind goes different places to finish that album.
Yeah.
Like, when you creating a single, you just trying to make something that's going to pop. Like, but when you're actually creating, for an album, you're like, man, I got this type of song. I got this type of song. What type of song I don't have? I don't have this type of song. Or I don't have this type of tempo song. Right. And it makes you just kind of step out your comfort zone a little bit to complete a project. Like, you know what I mean?
And try different things.
Yeah, try different things. So I always advise all artists, always work on a project, always be working on an album, even if you like, man, I only got 35 listeners. I mean, so right. I mean,
that's a lot of people that like listening to you. That's to me. I mean, I'm appreciative. I can have 2, 3. I'm cool with that because I'm humbled by just my process. I didn't start doing music, really singing until I was like 20 something years old. I was like, I'm gonna know how to do this. So I always did art. You know what I'm saying? So just anytime people appreciate what I create, you know, I wish I could talk to them people, like appreciate them 2 people, because them people don't have to take time out to listen to.
They don't have to take the time.
Do nothing. They could just be like, this boo-boo. You know what I'm saying?
Or they could just not listen to it. Like, you know, so I mean, like any listener, that's what I said, man. And people are so consumed on being a megastar, but all megastars had their own core listening. Well, these days. Because now, when's the last time you hear just somebody just, oh, you just so tight and you just blow up? Yeah. It's not like that.
It's not like that. I mean, Kendrick started, even him being a big, massive artist that I think of, it. You know, he started off with just the most minimum of crowds. Lil Russell, he started off with the most minimum. You got to build that up and appreciate the journey. You know,
appreciate the journey, man.
Yeah, it's the art form.
You know, and like that's the thing. And then when you start getting some traction, not thinking that you're bigger than what you are. You know, because like a lot of because man, I mean, it's one thing to be modest. I mean, like that's a double sword, because sometimes you shouldn't be modest. You should know your worth and you should stand on what you believe in. Okay. You know, but at the same time, you have to know where you at too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's my thing. Like, and like, I feel like that people don't use emotional intelligence a lot of the time. And in this industry, you have to have that. Right. You have to have a certain level of emotional intelligence, because this industry is also about relationships. It really is. It's about relationships. It really like, you know what I'm saying? So you have to have a certain level of emotional intelligence when dealing with people. And, you know, I try to give as much advice as I can to certain artists. Yeah. And like I said, people listen and shit. A lot of people don't listen, but, you know, for people that's thinking, you know, that they want to, this is what they want to do. Like, you know, you have to realize that this is a journey. Yeah. This ain't for the weak-hearted.
It's for not, sure. Man.
It's like harder than playing ball.
It is. It is.
To like, if you want to get on, it's harder to make it into the NBA.
Yeah, and it's like to see
being a.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna say like needing to see that, like even like I shout out to Usher. That's one of my favorite. Like when I was 8 years old, that was the kid. I'm like, that is the dude. Like I need to learn how to do what he does. But just to see him finally get his opportunity to do the Super Bowl, you know, as talented as he is, you know what I'm saying, and.
The show was fire too.
Yeah, that was his championship for real. Like as any artist, that's bigger. I feel like that's bigger than the Grammys. Cause that's one of the biggest, the most known watched.
It was It was the most watched, I think.
And the Half Bowl, the halftime show, he's the most watched.
He
and to be that age, killed it. Like he was back in his
that little skate thing with the circles. It was going crazy. Like I was like, man, it's a really good. I was like, man, I didn't realize his catalog was that deep. I was like, man, he still had joints, and he still had joints.
He didn't even play.
He still had more joints. He still had a lot of joints.
The Confession album alone was just that album. You know what I'm saying?
No, it was.
That's the run-through joint. So yeah,
Usher is definitely a talent that, you know, for the ages, man.
For sure. Hey, timeless. You know what I'm saying?
But that was actually one of the first CDs that I bought.
With the Confession joints? Or
no, Usher My Way. One of my first CDs that I bought. When I moved to Virginia. I was moving from Dallas to Virginia. That was like one of the first compact discs that I bought. My mom let me buy.
Yeah, mine was Brandy. I'm not gonna lie, the Brandy self.
I bought that one too. It was those two. It was Brandy and that's what I listened to on that. Yeah, it was Brandy and Usher. Those were the two.
Brandy was like my biggest crush as a kid.
Like, you can't get no rap, but you can get some R&B.
I was in love with Brandy. I'm not gonna lie, I was in love with Brandy. She was so fun. And I was like, that. I used to sleep next to a little CD like at night.
I didn't realize, Brandy. I didn't realize that Brandy was. I didn't realize her voice was that fire.
It's fire. Her vocal vocabulary is ridiculous.
Yeah,
I didn't realize in her control is ridiculous. You can run, but can you control the run? I'm like, that lady is crazy. Yeah.
Brandy crazy with the run.
The voice. Man, shout out to Brandy. I'm not trying to, body shame, but she definitely got a look thick. And I was like, damn, Brandy, you've been eating some good food lately. You said, I'm not going to be thin no more. You know, she was on the NPR recently. Who Tiny Desk did she pop up on?
Oh, she grown woman?
No, she didn't grow into some body. She got into some body. She started bodying a little bit. So, but no, she was on the NPR recently. I can't remember who it was just right now. But it's because I think it might have been August Green, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. That's with Common and Robert Glasper and stuff like that. I should remember that group. But anyway, I definitely agree with what you're saying, man. Enjoy the process, enjoy the journey, appreciate everybody along the journey because nobody has to support you.
Right.
At all.
But you treat everybody the same when you're
no
going
matter
up the
where
ladder.
you're going. Yes.
Where you at on the ladder, you treat everybody the same.
Matter of fact.
Because you don't never know where they gonna be on the ladder.
And I noticed that about you as well too, man. And I appreciate that about you as well as a person. Like I know you've definitely had a chance to meet a lot of folks and do a lot of things, a lot of great things, but you still are personable.
Nah, yeah, I try to keep it
treat anybody any type of way, treat them bad.
Unless you disrespectful, like you try to come disrespect my stage and not get off and all that other stuff. Then, you may deal with a different type of animal. But besides that, if you ain't doing none of that foolishness, then I'm gonna keep it, man. I just don't like when people, why do people have this whole deal of wanting something for nothing?
Man.
Like, it is like...
the entitlement these days.
I don't know where this comes from. Like,
it's the internet, bro.
I don't know.
I blame the internet. Everybody think they're gonna be like bigger than what they, like you said, bigger than what they really are. And it's like, bro, you are tripping right now. You need to really relax. But even that, I think the most successful people are the ones that can actually understand where they're at and understand and respect other people in the space they're in.
It's times for that, and then it's times not for that. Like, and I feel like that's why I say you have to have a certain level of emotional intelligence. Yeah. And you got to know how to move because sometimes, you do have to, put your sack on somebody's forehead because, they not doing what they're supposed to do or they not respecting you the way that they should be. But for the most part, you shouldn't walk into every meeting or into every situation trying to put your sack on somebody's forehead.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
You gotta read the room.
Yeah, you gotta know what time it is. So it's just all about having the capability and the emotional intelligence. Or just intelligence, period.
It takes emotional intelligence to understand that where a true sense of confidence comes from.
Yeah, especially in this deal, because you're dealing with artists, and all artists are passionate. Emotional.
Very emotional.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But all artists.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Like straight up.
So a lot of them, they try to get that confidence from like, I do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? But like, you can't do that in every room.
I mean, like I said, it's just certain. It's like a maze, man. Mm-hmm. You got to know when to make the right. You got to know when to go left. You got to know when to keep straight. Got to know when to just keep it moving.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Everything is not for you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That's just it. So,
I'm glad you shed light on that, man, because we talked about emotional intelligence before with another guest, but to incorporate that in terms of your passion. And me being an artist, like a creative person, I identify with that a lot. I've had to take time to step away because I realized my mind was just going the wrong places with stuff. And I'm like, I got to remove myself from this, remove myself from that. Because as an artist, you start to think certain stuff and feel certain ways. You're like, nigga, you sounding kind of crazy over here. You need to go out there and rewind and reset. Yeah. And really understand where you're at. And that's a part of the emotional intelligence as well.
So for real.
For sure. What you're saying, man.
That's definitely part of it. Like I said, sometimes it's okay to check yourself. Like,
got to.
It's okay. It's okay to do that. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's part of growth.
Absolutely. But I think we definitely touched on a lot of things today.
We didn't touch on? We ain't talk about no female stuff.
Man. Oh, hey.
Okay. All right.
If you want to go, I'm good. We can add some time to this now.
Well, the reason, at least about 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah. Hey, you got the time. I got the time,
I do the podcast, Hitting Halos.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Taylor Simone, Your Media Bay, Fast Money, Real Life Jeff, Real Life Productions, the whole fam over there.
Yeah.
And Nikki J.
Mm-hmm.
And, we would do the relationship thing with the podcast. So I guess I can ask y'all a couple questions.
Please do. Come on with it, man.
What do you think is the best thing that a female can give a man?
Peace.
But what does that consist of? That's such a blanket answer.
Okay, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say it like this. I feel like if you're able to compliment me and I can compliment you and we're able to have synergy and we can actually meet each other in different ways. Like, I know what you're doing. I respect that. You know what I'm doing. I can respect that. And then we all start finding ways to help each other in the process. That to me promotes peace. Mm-hmm. Instead of you being like, well, you an R&B singer, you got to be in front of all these females, you got to be on the show, you got to be. But like, what I was doing before I got to that place or what I'm trying to accomplish. So why are you not trying to step on my toes? And I know where you're trying to go because you're doing what you're doing. I'm gonna support you. So I feel like once you know that we're both supporting each other's purposes, there's the sky's the limit because we're trying to build as a team. So that to me is what peace really is being able to understand that we're in two different places, but we know how to complement each other. It's like a note. It's like a harmony. Two different intervals, but y'all know how to complement each other and make something very beautiful out of the process.
Yeah, I mean, but this is one thing I'm gonna give. I feel like this is a gem right here. I'm gonna drop.
Okay.
I feel like that what men have to realize is that that one thing that woman loves about you, she will eventually hate about you.
Goddamn. I can't disagree with that.
At some point.
Interesting.
Wolf on Wall Street was like the most exempt. Like that was one of my favorite movies. I was like, but you knew he was about this before.
I mean, I won't say eventually hate, but what she loves about you, she will eventually have a problem with it.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
In some form, until the point where she, but that's one of those things where if she loves you, she's going to accept you for who you are. But what she loves about you, or what may attracted her to you, will be a con later on.
Interesting.
Okay.
I'm just saying. So don't shoot the messenger.
Now, to what I would say to that is, and I'm pretty blunt, if you're gonna get away with my situation, I was doing good before you came, so you don't have to be here no more.
Mm-hmm.
So I keep that in mind all the time. That sounds pretty harsh, and ladies, you might not like me for saying that, but if you are trying to get away with my goals, you can kick rocks.
Yeah.
Just that very simple. I'm not trying to be mean, but y'all do the same shit.
100%.
100%. They do the same shit. They'll drop your ass like a bad habit so quickly. You be like, God damn, what the fuck did she go? Have you seen? Tell me, have you seen?
Have you seen?
You over there singing the song.
Yeah.
What you think, brother?
I mean, I think it just varies, man, for different people when it comes to, because some relationships are different. No relationship is the same. And I think a lot of the times people go into with this whole copy and paste mentality.
Yeah.
Same shit he was doing for that girl.
I want the
He's doing the same thing. He damn near bought Valentine's Day, and when he bought her the same gift he bought the girl last year. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Oh, he laughing. That shit
They bought the same purse. They look the same. Different print, different color.
Yeah, different color.
Different color. You know what I'm saying? So,
it's a new
and
color.
even Mexican girls do the same thing.
He still had the coupon.
I think it's really about being intentional on getting to know that person for who they are and accepting that person for who they are. Because a lot of the times it's a lot of copy and paste, man.
Yeah.
Like, what may be the best thing that you was trying to give to that person may not be the best thing for this person. So it's really all about, it's all about the individual. It's really about individualizing the relationship.
Yeah, I think about it like it's you looking for because you asking like, what am I looking for in that moment? Like, I got everything that I need. So to me, it's like, this person is going to be my best friend. You know what I'm saying? And every friendship is different. Like, I got a homie I go to the movies with, but I don't go to the movies with all my other homies. Like, you know what I'm saying? I might have somebody I go play basketball with, and then another set of homies that I don't do that with. You know what I'm saying? Like you saying, everything is going to be different depending on the friendship. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got some friends I play chess with. Some of them niggas don't know the thing about chess. You know what I'm saying? Exactly.
So teach me a lot of stuff.
I need to learn about chess. I'll be wanting to play chess.
Yeah, definitely. Chess. It's a must, I feel like. But yeah, so it's like I just need this woman to be my best friend, and we gonna figure out what that friendship looks like over time, and just kind of go with it like that. You know what I'm saying?
Do y'all think that it's smart for a man to get married in these times?
Woo! Wow. I know I got loud for a second, but goddamn, I have my own feels because I'm just being introduced to a new community. Shout out to Red Room Dallas. I don't know. I'm starting to become more interested in polyamories. I don't know what it is, but I'm just like, because I feel like, honestly, I can't control what anybody does. And I've had conversations with people and I've seen things, unfortunately, I've been a part of things of infidelity. So it's just like, I don't know how to feel about marriage because, unfortunately, I'm a little jaded because of my wrongdoings in the past.
Okay.
So I don't really, I see marriage as a certificate as a business proposition more than anything. And that sounds pretty bad. It sounds more contractual to me to be in a marriage than it is to just, because you could be married but not married. If that makes sense. You can actually it's like, was it common law? Yeah, common law marriage. Like you could be with somebody, have a lot of things established with that person and a lot of common things, and then eventually y'all kind of basically become married, inevitably in that sense. But I feel like my issue is that people put a lot on marriage in terms of the label, and then not everybody is going to be super faithful in that situation. So,
I mean, do you think that a man should only be with one woman?
Ooh.
Well, that answers that.
Do you think a woman should only be with one man?
Oh. My mind is expanding. So I grew up in that mindset thinking that was the case, but I think that's a westernized concept. I feel like people should be free. And shout out to some people. She knows what she is. She kind of opened me up to that door. I was like, damn, you know what? I don't mind you doing what you got because I'm going to go do what I'm going to do eventually because people going to find me attractive and they're going to find you attractive. So I'm a little different. Now, you have to create certain things so y'all ain't out there just doing nasty shit and infecting the world with wild shit going on with yourselves. But I think there's a certain way of dealing with this thing. Now, it takes a certain type of person because of the emotional state.
Yeah.
Because I think for women, it could be a little bit more of an emotional tie. And guys could be emotionally tied too. But our geneticists, and I know it's going to sound like a cop-out, is to be able to procreate. Like, there's African kings that got 5, 6 wives, they got 30 kids. That wasn't by accident. That was by choice. By design, we are able to populate a little bit differently. Women are a little bit more stagnant when they get pregnant. They got to sit around for about 9 months, be catered to, have to be, looked after. And then they have to still also go through the process of labor where they could potentially die. There's a lot that goes into the process. So genetically, we're just built differently. I think men... God damn it, y'all making me go there.
I mean, that's what I know.
Y'all making me go there.
We talk about it a lot on the podcast.
I think men are supposed to procreate a lot more so. And if women want to be, I mean, I feel like there's been a role reversal in a lot of ways. Like women have become a lot more masculine. They try to mirror what we do. But they can't emotionally, well, some females can, but a lot of times it's not always the easiest for them to do that. For I think the most common females. There's some females that just super.
Some are monsters.
Yeah, it's some monsters.
Gobblers.
Shout out to y'all. Yeah, gobblers, monsters. Shout out to y'all. Y'all some beasts. But
monsters, gobblers.
Man, you like, this more gangster than y'all.
She's a man eater.
She be like Boomerang. She be like, damn, man, did you just do that to me? Like, damn. Yeah, the guy did that. Like, damn, bitch, all right, well, shit, you bad. You a bad bitch.
Maddie, the gobblers.
Yeah, the gobblers, man. Shout out to what's her name? Whatever, Boomerang, you know what I'm saying? Hey,
oh, man. My God.
I don't know, man. What you think, AP? I'm over there, talking, talking.
I think it just depends on the individual. Cause I know people who can't be faithful to save their lives. It's certain people that just doesn't work for, and it never will. And so it's like, I guess that's just them. And me, I'm the complete opposite. Like, I thoroughly enjoy being monogamous. To the point that I almost don't even get sexually attracted to someone unless I have an emotional connection to them. But what is it?
No, I understand.
Oh,
I can't say the
like
same.
That. This nigga making me look bad.
No, I mean, it is what it is. It's something that I've had to get comfortable with because, like, I used to try to be the opposite. You know what I'm saying? But like now, approaching 30, I'm like, I'm fully settled into that. To like, yeah, I like being with one person, and that's just who I am. I like being in relationships. I don't like sleeping around, doing all this extra stuff, and that's just me. But I understand that it's not the same way for everybody. So I think it's just a case-by-case basis. I do think that marriage was like established as more of a business thing originally, I think. And so I think even that has to be judged on a case-by-case basis, whether or not it'll work for that particular relationship, business-wise, from familial wise, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it makes, bro, I'm telling you, bro, because it's real.
Yeah.
It really is real as far as, but the thing is that as men, we actually have to have enough discernment and wisdom to make the right decisions when it comes to doing or taking that step with a type of female.
Yeah.
Or any type of female. Like, like my thing is that, bro, if like, bro, she ain't even got her kids.
Oh. I don't think she's going to change for you.
She's sleeping on this air mattress. Why are you hitting her raw?
Man.
Why are you hitting her raw?
Right.
Nigga, what are you doing?
Exactly.
Like, as men, like, I know sometimes, it does fall back on the woman.
That's wild.
Because she is the gatekeeper.
Yeah, she is.
We are the creators.
Exactly.
We have the seed to create the life.
Mm-hmm.
She just got the vessel to carry it. And what you call it? We are the creators.
Yeah, you know what you're doing, nigga.
So why are you doing that? Why are you like? My thing is like we have to take on some accountability for that. Like accountability needs to be spread across the map.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, I agree.
You know, accountability has to be spread across the map. But you know, from man to man, like you know, you know she ain't gonna make no good baby mama. Why you even putting her in a position to make her a baby mama?
Right.
And you should use more wisdom as a man to make a better decision. To be like, man, strap it up, man. You know, do something like, you know what I'm saying? If you gonna go there, like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's my whole deal. And having that lack of discipline, man, I think that is very harmful and has affected so many different people's lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think having that control is important because obviously I'm 35 and 0 for a reason. Not only do I like to wear a condom, I like to pull out with the condom. Some cats, because I've had more pregnancy scares with the condom breaking than I did without, you know what I'm saying? So I from experience as a young buck, I know now, like, look, I put the work in, I do break these things.
Bishop and Shady pull out.
Yeah, absolutely.
It don't even matter.
I didn't break.
Strapped or not strapped.
Plenty of them. I didn't went straight through them joints. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm see it. No, I didn't go in there. I saw it. I saw it. I didn't go in there. I saw it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Bro, that's what I'm saying.
I'm good.
Like, I didn't have my first kid till I was 28 years old.
Oh, that's
so you know what I'm saying?
You were smart about it.
You know,
took your time.
And biologically, I have one. I have 3 kids. You know, but biologically, I have one. You know, one child. One child. Okay, like, you know what I'm saying? So they'll let you know. That's what I said. Leo Nation, baby. Leo Nation. Hey, Leo Nation.
You already know.
You already know, man.
Yeah, you already know.
On the same game plan.
Yeah,
that's how it works.
I just, for me, and like you said, responsibility. The thing that I always talk about, and I say this to anybody and everybody, I'm very selective. If I have a child with you, I really thought this through.
Yeah,
I'm a thinker. Like, I'm going to think this all the way through because growing up, I grew up in so much drama and toxicity. Attempted murder. I seen all types of wild stuff. You see what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm not dealing with that again in my personal life. I dealt with that from a external situation because I was in the house, so I had no choice. I'm not gonna make a choice to put myself in that same situation as going forward. So I think as men, we need to be very selective in that process.
I think in a relationship, like we get so caught up in the emotion thing. Like I think a relationship in general, like if it's somebody that you plan on being with long term, there's always some business aspect to it. You know what I'm saying? Whether you want there to be or not, before you even introduce the idea of marriage, especially if you introduce an idea of marriage, whether you want it to or not, there's a business aspect to it. So you think about what business is, like there's a lot of different things you got to consider. And some of them might be very uncomfortable to think about. Like I don't want to think about taxes, but I got to do it. You know, I want to think about like, dang, do I file this under my EIN or do I just do my social? You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of that stuff. So like we got in a relationship, there's certain questions that we never think to ask that you probably should if you're thinking about having kids with this person, marrying this person, or even just staying with that person long term. Like I'm gonna ask like certain questions about your family before I figure out like if I want to be. If we're talking about having kids, do you have autism in your family? Like, is that something that's
gonna be a deal breaker?
It's not necessarily a deal breaker, but I want to know.
Like you want to know.
But
that's hard.
I feel like my family sickle cell is a huge thing, so I need to know whether or not you get the trait because I probably got the trait. So if we have a child, we got to understand that
people never talk about those kind of things. That's important.
That's crazy. Yeah. That's crazy. That's real though.
Yeah,
that's real.
That's big.
That's real. All right, I'm done.
You good? Okay, cool.
I'm done on relationships. I'm done.
I appreciate. No, you brought another segment. I definitely want to chop that up, throw that probably in the promo as well. Too late, y'all probably not gonna like me too much. I'll be hearing some of the shit I just said.
Hey, I believe in the same thing you believe in, man. I feel like that's how it is. I feel like that women are only really like from the beginning of time, women have been attracted to hunters.
Yeah.
Period.
And that's just it. And it don't matter. Hunters look different in different spaces and different places. I feel like that a woman really helps a man become a man because a woman will make sure that you say you are who you are and you is what you is. Prove it. Like, you said this or you want to do this.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's part of it. Like, you know, I feel like that in the life journey, I feel like every man should have a woman. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I feel like that we have definitely been westernized. And I feel like that doesn't always come in the form of just one. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or only. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like that because, you know, say you get with somebody, your high school sweethearts, you've been with her for 20 years. You 40, you know. I mean, shit, she can't really, it's dangerous for her to have any more kids. Maybe you want more kids. In all actuality, God don't make no mistakes. There are more women than men. Right? More women than men.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, we out here like slim. It's slim to none. It's slim pickings.
Because there's other stuff going on that changed the game of more.
Even more. Right, I'm saying it's slim pickings out here, especially if you factor in emotionally intelligent, especially if you factor in financially stable.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you factor in, that's like only like about 3 niggas out here, bro. You know what I'm saying? About 3 niggas.
Talk about it.
You know what I'm saying?
Just
like,
You know what I'm saying? Nah, but I mean, just like, I mean, really though, when you really look at it, man, it's like, I just be trying to be real. Like, you know what I'm saying? I be like, I've been married, you know what I'm saying? But even like, I had my own situation when I was married. Everybody was cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everything. So, like, I've seen the whole shit on how the shit work. And like, I feel like that there is certain ways. I feel like everybody should not be invited to the party. Everybody shouldn't be invited to the party.
Hell no.
Right.
Even if they got an invite to the party, they probably shouldn't. Like, they fit the criteria to be invited to the party.
Check again at the door.
Get off the stage. Man.
Yeah, they shouldn't be on the list. They shouldn't be on the list. So, like I said, man, a lot of the times, us as men, we just gotta take our own accountability.
I feel that.
And a lot of times, it's about what we choose to deal with.
Yeah.
What we don't.
Man, that's it. He went there with it, man.
That's it. I don't say nothing.
Absolutely.
I didn't get on the ladies today. You know what I'm saying? I kept them over here.
Right.
Boy, trust me. Listen. All right.
No, but it's all right. No, you good. I feel you though. But check it out, man. Dirt, we appreciate you, my guy.
Absolutely.
You drove all the way out this way.
Pleasure.
Yes, Leo Nation. Anybody else get mad at the horoscope? My bad, but Leo Nation, there's a lot of Leos in the room. But we do appreciate you for coming through, man. But what you do as well, man, I want to give you your flowers, man. Talented cat, production, studio, band, do a lot of things. This man does a lot of stuff. Okay, so there's a reason why we have him on the pod, man, talking about what he's talking about, presenting ideas and different things he's doing as well. We really appreciate you taking your time out of your day because you don't have to do any of this.
I appreciate y'all having me on, man, spotlighting me. I've been wanting to. I ain't talked on camera in a while, so it was like I need to get ready to get back talking on camera. Henny Halo's coming back out soon. I will love a live atmosphere through you. We're gonna be talking to Yak.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
Yeah, it should be a whole little situation. Like I said, shout out to the fam and Dallas Unplugged every Fridays at Gravity. Make sure you come out, check us out. The stage is crazy. Fire.
They got screens in the background. Man, it's crazy, man.
Hey.
But again, like I said, my name is Jacques Wright.
Adrian Peace.
And this is a Nice Guys podcast. And we had Dirt B here here as well, man. Shout out to y'all for tuning in with us again. Another episode. Y'all stay blessed. Thank y'all for y'all time. One love.
Peace.
Peace.